Hello, Joanna Quinn. It's a real honor to have you here in Annecy, and we know this is not your first time, but this year it's for a masterclass and an honorary Cristal. How does it feel to be there for all of this?
Oh my God, it feels wonderful. It feels so great. And I was just saying that I think I sort of wish I'd had this Cristal later on in the week, because I'm still recovering from the shock of being in Annecy. So everything feels a bit unreal. So yeah, I feel a bit like I'm in a dream, a beautiful dream.
Talking about your masterclass, what are you going to share with the most animated audience in the world?
Oh my God, that's right. Oh my God. I suppose I'm going to draw like this and talk a little bit about my process, about how I draw, and the whole thing of timing and putting key drawings. It's all about key drawings and punctuating your animation to try and give as much character to your characters as possible, as much personality to your characters. So that's what I'm going to do. And I know that watching people draw is always such a joy, just because you don't know what they're drawing. And then when you see something that you recognise, you go, oh, look, it's magic. I think drawing is magic. And animation is double magic.
We don't want to spoil anything, but if you had an advice to give to a young woman who would put all her energy in Annecy, in animation, what would it be?
It would be tell your own story. We want to know about your life. We want to know about the world through your eyes, and we want you to be brave, and we want you to be passionate, and we want you to not be scared. Try and shock people. That's a good thing. Yeah, I think the one thing I've learned is the best films are the most honest films. They're the films that really resonate with an audience, and that people can feel the honesty coming from a movie, I think. And it creates an emotion that the audience can't, they're sucked into it. So, honesty.
We can feel the energy bursting out of you, of your personality, and therefore your lines and shapes. Was animation the only art or work or artwork that could hold such amount of energy?
Yes, I think so, because originally I was going to do comic strips. I did comic strips, but I didn't like the boxes that I had to draw in, and I wanted to do more. And so when I went to college, I did graphic design and thinking, oh, I'll do illustration. And I loved photography as well, and so I'd do that. So I thought I was going to do one or the other. And then animation was introduced to us in the first year. And it was like a moment of dun, dun, dun. And I realised that this was my future. And then when it came to my turn to animate, I did two things, of course, because everybody else did one and moaned, and I did two and was joyous. And I did a dog. I did a film about a boy dog loving it. It was absolutely terrible. A boy dog loving a girl dog, but she was a feminist dog, so she goes. And then I did another film, which was life drawing, and I drew the life model, which was a serious film. And I think all through my career, I've had this split personality of loving classical drawing, but also loving humour and storytelling. So I'm always sort of trying to put the two together.
Talking about your style again, it's shouting or singing. Straight lines are boring.
Straight lines.
It's your words, I think. And you make this sing and dance on paper and screen. How do you feel in such an automatized and standardized world?
Pardon?
I mean, with such not straight lines,
Yeah.
how do you feel in such a straight and automatized and standardized world?
Yeah. I think when I teach, because I know drawing with a pencil, like I'm doing now, there's a fluidity and holding it on the side and just enjoying, really enjoying. It's a drawing for me is physical. I love it. And I find teaching a lot of students who have grown up with digital drawing that they haven't got the same enjoyment that I get out of drawing on paper, because it's a different. I think the pencil is so immediate, and you can have all sorts of different lines, and it's intuitive and it's quick, and you don't have to tell it what to do. And so I think you make more mistakes. You know, you make mistakes and you learn to live with them, and so it's really liberating making mistakes and not being in control of what you're about to do. And I think working digitally is very different for me. Maybe if you've just grown up working digitally, you have your own way of navigating that self-expression. But I find my creativity, half of it comes from me, but half of it comes from the liberation of drawing and the mistakes that come from just making marks, and it takes you off onto a different journey. So I'm happy in my little world. The rest of the world can be straight lines and cubes, but I'm all wobbly and messy.
Please stay wobbly and messy, because we love it. I'm quoting you again. You have to do sound effects when you do animation. Can you show us how it works in sound?
I was actually. I was going. So how that? So she got right. Okay. So this is. I'm just doing some different barrel faces in different. So you have to say. You have to go. You have to say it. So you use your mirror, and then you lip, and then what you do is it's like, how would a really bad actor do it? You know, a good actor would be subtle and go, but a bad actor go, and that's what you're doing when you're animating. You're being the bad actor. So you stretch it and exaggerate it, because it only looks normal when normal in the animation sense of the word. Yeah, I do sound effects for everything. When I'm walking, I do sound effects of my feet. When I open doors, I go, "Urgh." When I pick up scissors, I go, life is one big stage.
Have you ever animated something just for yourself and never shown anyone?
No.
Will you, now that I asked you this question?
Yes, I'm going to do secret animation.
Can you share just one secret with us? What will you animate just for yourself?
I don't know, because it's a secret. I'll think of something.
Which emotion is the hardest for you to animate convincingly, and maybe why?
Well, it's funny you should say that, but when we were working on commercials once, the advertising, the creative director said, could you do the character so that there's like no expression? They've got no personality? Well, bloody hell, it was impossible. To draw somebody with nothing, that was the hardest thing. All expressions are easy, you know, and they come naturally, I think, to animators. But having to draw somebody with no expression at all is really hard, you know, because you just, You're just trying. So that was the hardest thing, drawing no expression.
That's why you say, I'm quoting you again, sorry, but that's why you say you have to exaggerate it and then it looks normal.
Yes, it's true. Even it's sort of like you over-exaggerate it, but it might just be on one drawing. And so the one drawing, say for instance on this drawing, now I've lost track because I'm chatting, I can't remember what I was doing, but that's her bottom lip. Oh, look, I've got eyebrows like that. But that might just be one frame. So the exaggeration will jump out on one frame, so you might not see it, but you'll feel it. You know, so the exaggerating is there, but it's not on the screen for a long time for it to look exaggerated. It's just a feeling.
I hope you're not going to be mad at me for this, but when you received your Cristal yesterday, it seemed that Beryl was holding it.
I have turned into Beryl?
I guess sometimes she burst out.
She does.
So I imagined questions from Beryl to you.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for my poor British accent. Oi, Joanna, why do you always draw me with my knickers showing? Can't a woman have a bit of dignity now and then?
It's true. She's always got her knickers on and her bra. Yeah. I have a book coming out. I would put it on here if I had it in my bag. I will show you the cover of the book. And this is so spooky that you've said that. It's Beryl in her bra and knickers. You caught me out. I am obsessed with Beryl in her bra and knickers. I don't know why. It's because I don't like doing folds.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably would draw her naked because that's even easier. But it would just not be right. So I put her in a bra, spotty bra and some knickers.
She liked this, I'm sure.
She has no shame. It's okay.
Can I keep on
Beryl
asking you?
Beryl, yeah.
Be honest, am I based on you? On someone from your family or someone you saw once on a night bus in Swansea?
Okay. I think you're a bit of my mother. You are an amalgamation of quite a few women in my life. But I think probably my mum most, because she was very, very, very funny, and she had problems, but she never burdened anybody with the problems and just managed to laugh her way through life. And I think Beryl's a little bit like that.
How come I never get to go on a posh holiday or fall madly in love with a sexy Spanish tango instructor? I've got range, you know.
Well, we did have a film idea where Beverly, her sister, falls in love with a Spanish plastic surgeon. That's sort of close. Called Jesus. But he refused to give her any free treatment, so she divorced him. But that was her sister, not Beryl.
Why do you always give me such enthusiasm and such drive, but never quite let me win? What's that about, huh?
Oh, God. Because that's just being British. We try and we always fail. Unlike the French.
And last of my Beryl's question, of her question, when you're drawing me, I mean really drawing me, do you love me or are you just having a laugh?
I love you. I love you. I'm having a laugh too. I do enjoy drawing you because you're so round. And I've never put you on a diet. I can't draw skinny people.
If you had one question for her, what would it be?
Maybe, I wonder what she thinks about me. Is she happy with how I depict her? Am I her mum? Am I a good mum?
Maybe you're just the other side of the trusty mirror of Beryl.
I think we are one of the same person. Oh, it was so bad.
And if you agree, maybe you could say goodbye to Annecy or close this interview with a drawing.
Okay. Those last drawings were rather bad. Okay.
No, there's nothing bad in spontaneity. I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. All right. This is, okay. I'll draw Beryl saying goodbye. Bye. Bye. Sad.
I hear her asking to have a crystal too. She speaks French.
Oui. Going to put her in brown knickers, since you insist. That's her bikini, because she's been swimming in the lake. And her jewels.
If we had to put some music on this last sequence, would you recommend something from Les, from one of your films?
Some music. Oh, I don't know. Some sad music.
Because
So long.
she's saying bye?
Yes.
She's saying goodbye.
Oh, I've got colours. Let's give her a bit of lipstick. There. Oh, God. I better draw better than this on Thursday. There we are. That's a sad Beryl saying goodbye. Bye. Oh, she's a bit sunburnt. Sniffing.
Thank you very much, Joanna. It was a beautiful moment, and thank you, Beryl, for being with us. And see you next year.
I hope so. I might be here with my book.
Please do.
Beryl in her underwear. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for my crystal.
You're more than welcome in any meanings of these words.
Thank you. C'est tout.
Do you want to stay and we keep on chatting and drawing? Because
No, I think I'm being dragged away.
okay, no, oui, on en a bien pris. It was a beautiful moment, really, really, really. And I have to
Sorry,
say,
it went on and on and on. That I know it's going to be cut down to about 1 second, but
I have to say that last year, the most animated guest and beautiful person we had, and he reminds me of you, and you remind of him. It's Terry Gilliam. He was just here playing with us three. We did a little short movie where he was saying that I've been holding him in a cage for years, and it's well, I've felt the same authenticity and playful style. So thank you very much for this.
that was great. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.